turn on your notification bell, you will still get those information you are looking for.
Where are you getting the money to share card to people? IPOB will not induce people. I'm going to lay a foundation here. Now, on this particular tweet from Aloy Ejimako, which is the special legal counsel to Onyendu, is very, very simple. It is not contradictory. The reason being that he make a very specific, underline the words. I'm going to read it once again for those that are daft, that don't listen. Probably English, I don't know how we're going to break their brains to actually explain it to them. The word he used, he said, today, I had a visitation with Onyendu, and he asked me to make it public that he had asked one of his lawyers, he didn't mention his name, to do a memo to Chike Doziem to announce Ogbonnia Abraham as the new entering coordinator for Germany. And that Chike Doziem and the lawyer who did the memo can confirm this. Now, this is a very, very specific that Onyendu requested. And one of the lawyers, whoever the lawyer is, because we have so many lawyers going to see Onyendu. Now, but we know those that communicate with DOS, communicate with Chike Doziem, and rest of people that is involved, happen to be Aloy Ejiofor, Barrister Ejiofor. Ejiofor have not said anything since this particular message been rolled out. But you see how they are fighting against the message. Have you seen the write-up of Chigdan Sanworu about backslashing? I will find that particular post and put it up here. Now, we will go to, Temi, which is a member of DOS, which is African rep. As South Africa is today, if Chike Doziem is following command and control as he preaches, you can't go to South Africa without going through Temi in anything have to do in South Africa. Like as he claiming here in UK, because Austin Aban is his puppet, is his brother, is his brotherhood, brother in crime, in a deep crime. These are two evil men, Chike Doziem and Austin Aban. The way you see them look, their heart is darker than their faces. Because I've been in a meeting with them, and I see things they have done in the past. I'm not saying somebody to tell me. I can prove what I'm saying with their own words. Like what we are doing here, we have not started pulling what they did. We are talking about what's happening now. This is very, very open. None of them have said anything to Ejimako, but what they did is that they're employing riffraffs to come and attack Ejimako. Ejimako is an illegal counsel that works for IPOB. You paid him to do a work. He communicated message from our leader that is in the DSS dungeon, which none of you idiots can man up to go back home and go and visit our leader in the DSS dungeon. None of you can do it. So now, what you're telling me is that you guys pick and choose the message you take from Ejiofor or Ejimako, because Ejiofor have compromised from day one. In sense, the compromise I'm saying is that because he was aiding and abetting with them by message come from Onyendu, he will sit on it without making that message being open and transparent. Because if Ejiofor was coming and tell Chike Doziem to do something, if you don't do it, you go back to Onyendu and say Chike Doziem did not implement, then Onyendu will know that Ejiofor is actually coming back and telling me what's happening. If Onyendu send Ejiofor, go and tell Chike Doziem XYZ, and Ejiofor will monitor what is happening. You don't need to come and tell us. If it doesn't happen, you go back to Onyendu and say, Onyendu, this message you have passed through, this guy did not implement it. Now, Onyendu will instruct you what to do. As his legal, as his legal luminary that protecting him, and he know that he's in prison. Now, you've been beating about the bush. Anytime you go to see Onyendu, you copy the message. For over 1 year and a half, you've been copying and pasting the same message. To you. These are fallacy. These are word of dumb, because our people are weak and lame in mind. So you come and say Ezigbo Umuchineke. Who is Ezigbo Umuchineke?
But Mazi, please wait. I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me play devil's advocate here. Mazi, you can see Ejiofor has come out and told them they should implement our leader's order. No matter who, you must implement our leader's order. Maybe Ejiofor is passing this message to them. But for all along, they are not implementing it. That's why he came public to announce it. That you must implement our leader's order, regardless of who you are. So what do you have to say about this, Mazi?
Mazi, I know what you're saying, but for me, it doesn't wash for me. That's what I said in the last program we did in midweek. I said, don't allow your emotion to override your intelligence. as a professional, when you work in a civilized world, yeah, when you fail, you get laid off.
Mm.
You get laid off, especially a professional job like lawyer that is not a permanent job. You're independent. People, people employ you to protect, to protect them. If you couldn't do it, they will tell you to go to hell. What I'm saying in a very professional manner is that whatever Ejiofor said today, is a testament that he confessed publicly that regardless the position that Onyendu, because when he had people talk about structure, DOS is wise. He asked them question: who is DOS and who is wise? Wise in which capacity are you talking about? Chikedozium being wise or being dumb? That Chikedozium now is recalling the blood of our people that died. These people don't even know they are urinating on the grave of our people. They don't know that they're playing ping pong with our peoples that died and people that are still dying. Question Onyendu's order. Ēxpōsed, whatever Ēxpōsed did, I will always mention that guy name. You see that man? Ēxpōsed, this guy that lives in South Africa, that's what I'm telling you. Watch all of them. They have carried smear attack against Onyendu. We don't want to go personal with all of them. We'll have their records. All of them from A to Z. All of them from A to Z have said something against Onyendu. Personally. Even this moron that lives in South Africa, Ejiofor, he attacked Ejiofor himself. He's saying that these are hypocrites. They always have a meeting, cabal meeting. They will call each other and be talking behind the scene. And after you see all of them come out and ranting, you think that's something upstairs. That's a man that claiming that they went to school, they're educated. Now, he asked them, what are you looking for? What exactly do you want in Biafra agitation? Is it the same thing we are running away from? Is it what you're trying to implement? So Ejiofor bastardized the opportunity Onyendu given to him to be the mouthpiece communicating transmitting Ejiofor is a transmitter between Onyendu and this kind of it shouldn't be made public. It's a confidential matter as a lawyer. Your job is to, whatever your client, police cannot hold you, DSS can do you nothing because that's your job. It is your client. When your client asks you to do a specific thing for him, it is your task, it is your duty to do it. You're not committing a crime. But if you have any attachment of what we do, you're being sympathetic to us, keep that aside. You see Ejimako, watch whatever he said. You never see him writing a person when you go to see Onyendu. His message always be concisive because he said what Onyendu asked him to say. But Ejiofor was dipping in the evil they were committing within IPOB, playing games with Onyendu. Because Onyendu, but they don't know that all of them are kneeling themselves in a war. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu went to Kenya. I said it. Somebody called me this. I said it. I will tell people. You see that where Onyendu is the golden egg. Nothing will happen to him. Some people saying Kanu came to UK, but they don't understand that. You see that sitting they did in UK, that was the final stroke. When that thing happened, the national newspaper in UK carried it. And this man in UK is not a small firm. For those idiots that don't understand what we are doing. Now, we are waiting for a decision. I'm not going to talk more about it until they pronounce it. Because they will pronounce it. At the end of the day, he was sitting. There's a court sitting in UK. This is not zoo. The person that preside that case is one of the highest judges they have in the United Kingdom. This is a national interest for those morons that don't understand what goes on. Because when they have this idiot that lives in third world Europe country that go around calling people in the secret. When they call them and have all this little meeting, some of them they're claiming they are okay. None of them are not okay. These are very wretched individual. Wretched mean you can't buy me with money, my brothers and sisters. Not judge you, man. My conscience, nobody can bought my conscience. I've gone beyond that in life. If my conscience should have been bought, I wouldn't talk about Biafra because I was in a better position. The life I've lived, if I tell you, you won't believe it. If you look at my face, you will know I'm not bragging. If you've been in my shoes, my brother, some of you will go mad. So when we come about life experience, that's a different thing. IPOB brought us up to. But what I'm saying in essence is that people must guide themselves. This particular issue, I said it, Ejiofor is the engineer of all this. You have confessed, so you have made a public. But now, what is going on now? Ejimako make a tweet, very simple tweet. So who else will write memo? It's Ejiofor, nobody else, because he is the most trusted, as he claimed to be. But Ejiofor, my challenge to you, if you're the most trusted. Prove yourself. You think Onyendu is the men in DSS dungeon for you to be relevant in the zoo? It's not going to work. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, you see you people, he used you guys to fulfill the destiny that Chukwuka Biama, just like Ēxpōsed. Judas sold him. But you know he was going to be sold. He was going to be sold. You know who was going to sell him. Have you heard Onyendu talking about who sold him? That's what I tell people. Don't worry about who sold Onyendu. Because if Onyendu concerned about who sold him, that might be his primary issue. But Mazen for one day, I've not told you that he's concerned about, SYZ. Even though when they were accusing people, Onyendu sent a message. Ejiofor wouldn't send that message. It was Ejiofor again wrote that Onyendu said that Caroline. None of these people are involved because Mazen can know who sold him. But he want to be in that position. None of these idiots don't know Onyendu live in Israel. If Onyendu want to live in Israel for another 100 years, we're talking about Biafra. Biafra will never come if somebody don't make a move. Or some of them forgotten that Onyendu said, I will lead from the front. 2015. Onyendu told them the date he was coming back. After his tour, atonement, he went to Asia. This stupid China Samuel, Onyendu went to Kuwait. Oh, he toured. After touring, he came back to UK here and bought his flight. He bought his flight to the zoo. The person that handed Onyendu over to DSS Dungeon, the guy's name is Chuks Ikediwe. The guy was the Lagos coordinator then. Chuks died last year. Wretched idiot died last year. He was the person that handed Onyendu to DSS. He was the person that went to give Onyendu SIM card. They didn't touch him in the airport. Onyendu came in and went to his hotel. Chuks now, he is the person that go and dropped card to Onyendu. Some people don't know this, but they don't know people like us. We are on the side watching. That guy was the person. After the guy went to drop that SIM card, left that room, DSS busted Onyendu. But Onyendu wanted it because Onyendu told them. Now, I will come back to what rendition of 2021. Mazen Nan, the kind of numerous brokers told us that he will lead from the front and he was coming. And when the first interview, he interviewed him in Israel, he said he will be coming back to the zoo and he's coming with her with him. Onyendu is in the zoo now. The zoo is in upside down. How would he get to there if he didn't go to Kenya? Onyendu is immune in any country in the West world. Nobody's going to arrest our leader. For your information, Onyendu make it public that the only country that I protected him was Israel. Israel jurisdiction supersede even going to Africa, but because Onyendu wanted to be in position where he are. And I repeat again, if Onyendu want to come out of DSS dungeon tomorrow morning, or even now, all you need to say is that I'm done with Biafra agitation, to hell with all these monkeys at Mabos. Case closed. We move on. Some people, and men that pew, watermelon or whatever they call it now, how continue now? Because Ēxpōsed and his gang are having a field day. But what I will say here is this. Ejiofor tweet was very precise. And I said, like the last program, I dare Ejiofor. If Ejiofor did not come out and clarify this tweet with the word he said in the previous broadcast, you know that guy is a devil. And the calamity will befall him and his generation because they're playing with the blood of our people. Some of us have left a lot of things we were doing. If we are looking for money or fame, I don't think I will be part of IPOB. So let some of them don't provoke people like us. If he don't come out, Ejiofor I'm talking about, if that guy don't come out, when the guy started bleaching, I started asking questions. At your level of education and your position you're holding, what do you think your kid will be looking at you? You're rubbing cream at this age in your life? This is your personal life, but at least you present IPOB. You're making mockery of your black people. We live in the Western world. So I'm just being fair to you. You need to come out. The way you wrote a disclaimer, you need to come out and clarify that tweet. And you have said it, that anybody that Onyendu say implement it, have structure for those morons asking whatever Ēxpōsed said, stand. If Ēxpōsed is not implementing Mazen Nandekano's order, I will ask you again, what structure are you protecting? Who is DOS? Who is DOS? And which structure are you talking about? It's a very simple question. This one is people say, any message you pass, come. Who is the DOS? He mentioned, he specifically told you that Onyendu granted him, because he's a lawyer, he's an attorney. He can't violate that because he can get himself, even his license taken away from him, or sue him again on top of what he have done. Onyendu gave him the power for him to come out and make it publicly, specifically to Biafrans. Because this thing, even in the United Kingdom, the same thing happened. But Onyendu allowed these people to see if they will change from their evil and degraded mind they are playing, the double standard they are playing. But they never did that. Before Onyendu decided to use Ejiofor to write that particular message to Biafrans, and they're running helter-skelter. All they're saying, some people saying, Ejiofor did not order anybody. Ejiofor is so you don't, your brains, I don't know, you people are talking about Fulani, that having sex with animal, but they're better than all of we. Some people that claim that the IPOB member, look at them, none of these people, I won't speak to them in my life again. I'm being honest with you. As some people in my life, I won't speak to again, Mazi. Don't get me wrong, go. You see what's happening now? It has opened my eye that some individual I will never ever speak to them again in my life. Because you see that people jumping, who is DOS? DOS is wise. Wise on what? There's an issue. This has been going on unabated for a very long time. We kept quiet. But it's not how God might have it. As we came out talking, We have not gone into the things we know. Like people I spoke today. We are still talking, just like as we're talking now. Ejiofor came out and confessed with his mouth. Now, Ejimako have tweeted. So, which one should we follow? And some people are saying that Ejimako is order. Ejimako didn't order anything. I will go back on this particular tweet again because Mazi Nankan said if you want to hide anything, hide especially black Africans. Put it in writing. I will read this again. For some of these people claiming they went to school, but I don't know which school they went to. He said, today I had a visitation with Onyendu, and he asked me to make it public. Onyendu requested that this will be made public. It is not a decision of Ejimako. Ejimako is just a messenger to transmit message to Onyendu, between Onyendu and the body of IPOB. And this has been done in 2015, 16, 17, 18, till Onyendu came out. Even after invasion, 1 year, we don't know where, we'll continue, we soldiered on, without no question, Onyendu give instruction. And he asked me, this is making public, that he had asked one of his lawyer. He omitted not mentioning name because, Bakada Mama, to do a memo to Chike Doziem to announce Obonna Abraham as the new entering coordinator for Germany. And that Edoziem and the lawyer who did the memo can confirm this. Do you see how professional he is? If Ejiofor have wrote disclaimer, Babatin, against Ejimako, put his name there. But he now came out to deliver a message. There was the word concisive. Now, the reason why he's emphasizing on Chike Doziem, to people to understand, Chike Doziem was aware of this. And that has been our argument. That Onyendu order must be implemented. Doesn't matter where Onyendu is. Because if Onyendu order is not implemented, then any other thing you're talking about is irrelevant. Chike Doziem does not exist if Onyendu order is not implemented. So, for you, some of you thinking Ejima is not Ejimako. Ejimako is an attorney. And is a messenger to IPOB. But he's not aiding and abetting with anybody. He transmits the message as, undiluted as Onyendu wanted. Because you have to confine. And again, Ejiofor has been breaking the code of conduct of, the zoo. Because they're taking advantage. If he was in abroad, that guy, by now, IPOB could have sued the hell out of him.
Yeah, Mazi, let me come in here a bit, Mazi, that's the same question I asked you, that I told you I want to play devil advocate. I want to put that same question to myself. I want to put that same question to myself. When we say that Ifeanyi Ejiofor confess, Mazi, nobody should take it. Should look for it in another angle. But Ifeanyi Ejiofor, just what he did that day was he just confessed. Mazi, for now it have been days. Our lawyer Ejimako have tweeted this message. It's days now, more than 4 days or almost going to a week now. And by the Ifeanyi Ejiofor have tweeted before, after this message. Then when by the Ifeanyi Ejiofor, if it's pure, if that by the Ifeanyi Ejiofor is pure, when he see that the message, the memo he wrote to our HOD Chike Doziem, he did not implement it. He did not announce the man our leader says should announce. I think if you have come out and tweet, I have sent this memo to DOS Chike Doziem. If it's pure, but for almost 4 days or almost a week, Chike Doziem have not announced this name, and by Ifeanyi Ejiofor have not said anything. That tells you that interview, believe me, man. But it's Ifeanyi Ejiofor. So all that not the pure, it can go on Twitter. I have passed the message. I have passed the instruction as Onyendu directed, but up to now nothing. We haven't had anything. But away from Nka because Onyendu will put there. Biafran the lead IPOB for what is going on. Because Mazi Chike Doziem is nobody if our leader's order is not implemented. Take it or leave it. Mazi, I think we have to go to DOS member.
Yeah,
it's also part of the leadership.
Yeah, you're right. Very, I have to let me reference this guy. Some people think in this struggle. There's one thing about me. These people that are shouting their media warrior. When I look at them, I laugh. These are riffraffs. People that question Mazi Nnamdi Kanu integrity. from A to Z. These are hungry, wretched individuals. You know, in IPOB, yeah, when we talk about gatekeepers, they don't understand what gatekeepers mean. Let me, if you see all these people in the media, they're accusing autopilot, yeah? George Ume was one of the first people they block because I will pick you up from distance. Let me take you back to 2016. No, 2017, if I'm not mistaken. When this guy from Biafran from Biafran area, let me put it, maybe use the word Biafran area. Blue Jack. This Temi you seen here, then the guy was on the side. Because if you see people that God call, I'm not saying God call him, but I'm just telling you, when people take a stand, people that believe in equity and fairness, go, well, IPOB, Biafra is a spirit. Don't forget that the person that asked our internal leader, that reminded him about Biafra, was Franco Pigo, which is an German. He's an German. Because it's a collective effort. Ojukwu didn't wake up and go and declare Biafra. It was a collectively. The Council of Elders agreed before they gave him the mandate for him to declare Biafra. For some of them, people don't know. And that's why Onyendu have insisted that we will not go without them being an input. Because these people look up to us. If you have younger brothers, I'm the eldest in my family. And no matter what I do, I might decide to be silent, but my younger ones, they know. They still respect me. And I know that. We might have disagreement. This is my family. And I will never bother them. Why? Just like IPOB, we are one big family. Why I'm making this emphasis is that some people don't know. When Russell went to see Onyendu and kneel down and Ifeanyi beg, these are people that are looking for recognition. When the issue of the renegade of 2015 of Radio Biafra International struck, he failed. This our brother I've been following him for a very long time. We've been friends on Facebook. But people that are pure, there are very few people that will take stand. That won't be myopically, because Zoo have done damage in our lives. It's understandable. But there's still people that Onyendu, he saw this. That's why he said, 100 men with clean hearts will give us Biafra. So this our brother, it's been a long time that I'm from distance watching him. Now, we will go into his tweets and his write-ups. You know, this is one of his tweets. He said, you have no justification to use a power you cannot submit to yourself. Command and control is not for a selected few. Are you seeing it? Selected few means that you cannot be biased when you judge. We talk about this all the time. We have been victim of this in UK here. Imagine a coordinator now will come to meeting, tell you that a HND sent a message. That's why they didn't attend a national duty. And they will inject themselves from the meeting. And that's it. And nobody will talk about insubordination. But the moment you question whatever they do, they remind you about insubordination. So this is our brother is just saying it. Yeah, command and control, because they're using command and control to stifle people. Just like the zoo, they don't obey court orders. How Chikedozie now will campaign about, I saw the picture they pull out, prison of conscience. They're using Mazen Nanikan to play ping-pong to Biafran. I'm not changing my profile to that. If I want to, I have a picture Onyendu in my profile. Whatever Chikedozie say doesn't stand for George Ume. Categorically, I'm making it open here. This thing you guys are doing are criminality. So some of you people that have been boxed into corner, not people like us. If Mazen Nanikan is a prison of conscience, Chikedozie implement Onyendu's order. You use your own mouth and say that what they want us to do is to isolate our leader, Mazi Chikedozie, and that's exactly what you're doing. Who you think you're fooling? Not people like George, man. I'm not changing any picture because all of you are evil men. I'll continue what I'm reading. And I say, it's for everyone. It is not for the masses, but for every member of IPOB, putting your opinion above that of Mazen Nandekano is sacrilege. I hope Chikedozie saw this. And when we tell you that Onyendu's, when we talk about issue of treason, not treasonable felony. Treasonable felony is America call it misdemeanor. They call it misdemeanor in America. You know? So when you commit treason, it's what they call unpardonable. Do you see that our brothers wrote here? Look at what the guy said. I'll put it back again. Yeah? This is a member of the US. Like I said to every single IPOB principal officer, you are a member of the US because that's the governing body of IPOB. Forget about these charlatans claiming they are DOS. Nobody's DOS. DOS is a body that governs IPOB. Chikedozie is not DOS. Mazen Nandekano head IPOB. That's his supreme commander of IPOB. That's where Chikedozie become irrelevant. Chikedozie to me is a crack to communicate message with IPOB. Now Onyendu is in communicado. He wouldn't do it. That's why he's stifling the message, because now he's dipping into corruption. Gang. And Onyendu say, Cabal is not allowed in IPOB. I'll read the message once again because it's compiled with other things the guy wrote. You have no justification to use a power you cannot submit to yourself. So the power you use, you can't submit it to yourself. Because Chikedozie cannot go, he can't fall into the other, he can't fall into command and control structure. This has been my argument. You have no justification to use a power you cannot submit to yourself. Command and control is not for a selected few. It is for everyone. It is not for the masses, but for every member of IPOB. Putting your opinion above that of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a sacrilege. I hope they understand the English word, or I don't know how to break it down for them. I don't call my brother. I don't. Chikedozie have beaten more than he can chew. Without order, IPOB structure will collapse. And that order begins with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All those who reject Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's order because they hate the messenger are enemies of IPOB and enemies of the DOS, pretending to love the DOS, but are trying to push DOS to doom. The same message Ejiofor passed. The guys retweeting it here. And it fell into the deaf ears. Mazi, this is why we are here. What was our argument? Implement Onyendu's order. Nothing else. That's why we have not gone into bringing evidence we have. Like I said, I've been involved in IPOB as a principal officer for the past 7 years. There's things I do that has nothing to do with my zone or IPOB, but concerning Biafra on my own.
So, my quality people, that brings us to the end of this update. Do well to like this video, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Subscription is free. Please smash on that subscribe button that says subscribe and turn on the bell icon for more latest updates. See you when I see you. From me to you, from here, I said bye.